yaptım yani.
Gürkan bak şimdi.
Hadi
Böyle
bakalım.
bir şey yapalım.
Tamam yapalım abi.
Sonuna kadar izlemeyeceğim, merak etmeyin.
Tamam,
bir
yapalım
fikir
abi.
edinin diye sardıra. Bak bu yolumuz, böyle bir şey yapacağız. Kazacağız buraları.
Tamam gedik açacağız okey.
Gedik açacağız. Dağ yapacağız.
Tamam daha açacağız.
Tamam mı?
Ne ya?
Ne yapacağız Tamam yapacağız.
Tamam bunu yapacağız.
Evet.
Kolay.
Evet.
Kolay.
Bak orayı kazacağız.
Tamam abi çok iyi.
Buraya benim silüetimi yapacağız.
Tabii.
Ben
Senin mi?
Evet.
Dur.
Giriş bu.
Senin süliyetini yapacağız.
Söyleme lan abine.
Tamam camları siyah yapacağız.
Buraya heykellerimi yapacaksınız.
Tamam.
Yapacağız. Tamam.
Yine
Taşağımı yapmaya çalışmayın, cobblestone yetmez. Şu ana kadar kolay.
Kolay.
Ne?
Basit şu ana kadar okey.
Nasıl? Nasıl?
Şu ana kadar basit bence.
Tamam hazırdır. Hadi şöyle koyacağız.
Böyle bir giriş yapacağız.
Tamam.
Sütunlar ki çökmesin. Bir de bunu realistik oynarken yapacağız.
Tamam yapalım.
Tek bir atada bütün her şey ipten.
Buraya benim heykelim. Karşıma benim heykelim.
Okey.
Buraya da benim heykelim. Buraya Gürkan heykeli.
Sağ olasın.
Hem taş da çok gitmez. Güzel. Buraya da Semih heykeli. Bununla bu arada yaratıcıda yapmayacağız ha.
He.
Ha, kasacağız yani.
Ha kalkacağız.
Okey.
Alışacağız ha.
Okey.
Burayı da mı kazacağız böyle?
Haha.
Hadi.
Sen ne kalacaksın peki?
Ben yöneticiyim.
Ha tamam o zaman.
Okey.
Çünkü kalsam ben kendimi kötü hissederdim.
Bu doldurulur kolay.
Kolay.
Tamam böyle yapacağız. Bu kova su taşırız buraya, bir şey olmaz.
Taşıyız.
2000 blok falan doldurulacak.
Tamam sıkıntı yok.
Tamam. Okey hallederiz onu da.
Sütunlar gerçekçi oldu.
5000 blok falan olur.
Hı hı.
Aa, bir server ayarlasam. Random chatten
Ne
insanları
ayarla?
soksak.
Ne oldu chat'i
Tamam
de mi
mı?
çalıştıracaksın?
Dur. Bunlara belirli bir
Ucuz
süre
çalıyor.
versek. Tamam mı? Bu belirli sürede, belirli bir konuda en güzel şeyi yapan adama gideriz mesela.
Oğlum
100
çok
kişi
tanıdık
alırız.
geldi.
Laptop veririz. Bilgisayar veririz.
Zeyno
Nasıl?
en son bunu yaptığında 50 lira veriyordu kanka.
He, ben de
yaptın
50 lira
mı?
abi. He.
Banka
Ben de
Banka
max 50. Banka
Yapamıyorduk ki.
yaptım işte.
Hile geliyordu her yeri patlatıyordu.
Şerefsiz bak yine hatırladım.
Hayır bu şöyle olur.
Hı.
Adam girer kendi yapar. Sana save dosyasını atar girer bakarsın.
Sen
Öyle
Mr.
olmaz
Beast-
ama.
Robota yaptırıyor.
Mr. Beast de mi yaptı
Ha.
bunu? Oğlum bunu herkes yaptı mı ya? Biz bu zaman başka bir şey yapalım.
Mr.
Herkes bana bilgisayar versin, ben size çizim yap. Build yapayım. Tam tersi.
Dolandırıcılık.
Bu okey bu arada bak bu böyle bir konudan daha önce yapılmadı.
Kimse yapmadı bunu.
Bak burası zorlar işte biraz.
Ha Gürkan arada zorlamazsın amına koyayım.
Kanka adam chatten şey dedi. Ben sana bunların hepsini yapsam dedi. Şimdi ucunda çok bir şey, büyük bir şey bekliyorsun ya.
Hı.
Bana modluk verir misin dedi.
O kadar ucuza olmaz. Modluğu bu kadar ucuza alamazsın.
Oğlum
Harbi
sen
mi lan?
dengesiz misin?
Para veririm, modluk vermem.
Bu heykeller senin mi olacak yine?
Çünkü chat'teki dostlarımı sadece güvendiğim dostlarıma emanet ederim.
Selamun aleyküm.
Modluğun bir şey karşılığı yok. Maddi karşılığı yok. Yalan söyleme. Tabii yalan söyledim. Bunları yapsın direkt mod. Manyak. 800 saat sürmüş adam kreatifde yaparken.
Bunun bu arada yalan olduğunu biliyorsunuz değil mi? Çünkü görünürde bak hiçbir insan yok yani.
Abi VIP istiyormuş, mod değil.
Cahil.
O zaman
Ya,
olur.
oğlum hayatından 800 saati böyle bir şey için harcama. Git o 800 saatte dili öğrenirsin. Her şeyi o yaparsın ya.
Gel 2-3 LoL'a tak.
Kadın sana CS öğrenemezsin. Bak bizimkinin 1000 saati var.
Allah
hala
Allah.
öğrenemez. 800
Allah
saat
Allah.
yetmiyor. Şu ana kadar çok basic.
Bayağı basic ya.
Yalan abi kendi yapmıyor ki.
O su kendi akıyor zaten yukarı koyunca Zeynep. Bunlar da şu ana kadar basic.
Lan. Oğlum bu ne lan amına?
Dur lan. Dur, en son gösteriyor mu? Ha.
En
Vallahi
çok izlenen
gösteriyor.
yerdir.
Hadi bak chat.
Yapılır.
Biz şu köprüyü yaparken kavga edip yapamayıp oyundan çıkacağız. Bak köprüyü. Bak köprüyü. İlk şuradan.
Biz yaparız, büyük ihtimalle beğenmezsin.
Ben bunu
Yüksek
beğendim.
ihtimal.
Güzel yaparsanız beğenir.
Kesin yapamayacağız.
Tamam lan bir tane yarım slap koymuş. Şey yapmadım.
Lotur'u ne zaman bitiriyoruz? Yarın izliyoruz Lotur'u. Sonunda izliyoruz yarın. Çok zormuş ya.
Ha bunu yeni
Lan
anladın.
sen nasıl bir kral insansın ya?
Minecraft'ı gerçek hayat simülatörüne çevirme. Adam adım adım yapacak. Anlatıyor İngilizce. Altyazısı var mı? Var. Bozuk mu düzgün bilmiyorum. İngilizce bilenler. Bilmiyorsanız da 12 sene eğitim alıyorsunuz.
Video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to turn Minecraft into a real life simulator. Trust me, this is going to be so accurate, you probably won't be able to tell it from real life. Obviously, there will be a difference. I was being sarcastic. And after I show you all the mods, I'll have some gameplay for you guys. And before we actually get into the mods, I recently created a Twitter, if you want to follow me there. I would definitely appreciate
Beni oradan
Minecraft,
dedi ki Minecraft'ı aşama aşama gerçek hayat simülatörü yapacağız
it.
dedi.
If you follow me, you'll have infinite good luck or something like that. I don't know. And
takip
anyways,
et
let's go
dedi.
ahead and
Solda
get into the
kuş
video.
yağıyor.
Alright, first, obviously, you need to start this world in hardcore mode because
Yeni
in real life,
hardcore
when you
modda
die,
aç
you
diyor.
know,
Çünkü
you
gerçek
stay
hayatta
dead. Next, we're going to be
ölürsen
installing
diyor,
the Terraria
ölürsün
mod,
diyor.
and this mod adds a new world generation
Terraria mod kullanmış, etrafı
type, which is pretty much just a
değiştiriyor.
complete replica of Earth's terrain, and you can even change the scale that it generates at. So
Dünya train işte replikasını
if for some reason you want the world generation to be a 1-to-1 scale of Earth, you can do that, but pretty much the entire world's just going to end up being flat or something. Next, we'll be installing the No Cubes mod, because obviously
Cube mod
real life
yüklemiş.
isn't made completely of cubes, and sadly
İğrenç
this
oldu.
mod doesn't make every single block smoothed out, but it does
İğrenç
most of them.
oldu.
And I mean, the mixture between smoothed out blocks and regular blocks looks pretty cool, so I won't complain that much. Next, you'll obviously need to install a very high resolution and super realistic resource
Yüksek çözünürlük modu.
pack. For this, I'm going to be using the Pultra
Texture
Resource Pack,
pack'iymiş,
and you
pardon.
can go with the
Resource
128
pack.
resolution version if you'd like because it's free, but because I can, I'm going to be using the 512 resolution version. After that, we're going to be installing shaders for what should be pretty
Ne kadar güzel gözüküyor lan.
obvious reasons. Personally, I'm going to be using the Chalkpick 13 version 8 shader. It would look even better if
Shader-
you used the ray
Chalkpick
tracing shaders, but
shader'ı
you will
kullandı.
probably need a godly computer to do that with all these mods, so
Bunu yapmak için diyor ki godly bilgisayar lazım diyor. Çok iyi bilgisayar.
Maskar,
really it's up
senin
to you.
bilgisayar bunu
Next up,
yapar
we'll be
kanka.
installing the time speed mod, and with this mod, you can actually sync up your your in-game time with your computer's time. So essentially,
Şey diyor, senin bir mod yüklemiş, bilgisayar zamanınla oyun zamanını aynı yapıyor.
whenever you get on, Minecraft will be matching the exact time it is
Gündüzse
outside,
gece
and you know that's
gerçek-
pretty cool.
gerçek
Next up, we'll be
saatle
installing the
eşleşiyormuş.
dynamic surroundings mod,
Gece
because
girsen
obviously
gece
real
mesela.
life isn't just completely silent, which Minecraft is, so we obviously need this mod installed. Now, to add some new creatures to the game, we're going to be installing the
yaratıklar
Wizard's Animals
eklemiş.
mod. And I decided to
oyun
go with this
Minecraft
one
değil
because
lan.
it doesn't add any mythical creatures to the game. All of them are real-life animals, so obviously it should
nasıl?
Böyle mitik canavarlar falan eklemedim diyor. Gerçek hayat modları
be on this
ekledim
list.
diyor.
After that, we'll be installing the Exotic Birds mod, pretty much for the same reason
Egzotik kuş modları
as
eklemiş.
Wizard's Animals, and this will give us just even more creature diversity in the world. Next up, we'll be installing the Better Animal Models mod, and this mod takes a bunch of the
Ve
creatures
daha
in the game
iyi
and
hayvan modu yüklemiş.
essentially just gives them better looking
Daha
models, or I
gerçekçi.
guess
Aa
more
ne kadar güzel gözüküyor lan yine.
realistic models than their vanilla counterpart.
Aa.
And while they're
Because
quite
of
obviously
it.
still not even close to looking like real-life animals, they're at least a step closer. One of the last mods we'll be installing is Dynamic Trees, and kind of like the Better
Dinamik ağaç modu.
Animal Models mod, this will make trees look more realistic than they did before, although still obviously not quite perfect. And these trees even fall over when you cut them down, which is pretty interesting to see in Minecraft. Finally, the last mod I'll be installing is Realistic Item Drops, and this mod just makes it so any
Realistic
items that
item
fall on the
düşme
ground will
modu
actually
eklemiş.
lay flat. And believe it or not, this is exactly what things do in real life, so this mod definitely should be installed. Alright, now that we have all the mods installed, as I said, I'm going to be showing you some gameplay, and this first clip is pretty much just showing off the general
Biraz Roblox
visuals you'll
sunucusu
have.
gibi olmuş değil mi?
Sus bir şey dinliyorum. Evet.
Play. And this first clip is pretty much just showing off the general visuals you'll have.
He. Şey. Ses efekti eklemiş. Oğlum oyun iğrenç oldu ya bu arada. Şu yatay yapması çok kötü yaptı her şeyi. Ama bayağı da güzel oldu ağaçlar.
Evet.
Ama şu
Ağaçlar
kötü oldu.
kurtardı.
Şu olmasa bayağı güzel şu ana kadar. Baksana havada duruyorlar ama.
The next bit of video will show you what caves might end up looking like, and for this part I'm actually using the SEUS Renewed shaders.
Aa. Madenler falan yani yeni şey yapmış.
Oğlum madenler ne kadar korkunç.
Oğlum Roblox olmuş ya bildiğimiz şu an.
Finally, for this last clip, I'll be showing you what is probably the most accurate bit of video ever shown in human history.
İnsanlık tarihiyle alakalı bir şey dedi. Sarp bu bizim ev.
Nasıl bak?
Aa. Sevmedim bu modu. Bunu yapmayalım değil mi?
Yapmayalım.
Bence de yapmayalım, güzel olmamış.
Bu
I'm going to be focusing on making
Minecraft'ta
Minecraft
olabildiğince
as sad.
rahatlatıcı hale
So
getirmek.
anyway, let's go ahead and check it out. So to start things off, we're going to be installing a performance mod because let's be honest, what's more satisfying than significantly enhancing your FPS? This one, however, is going to come down
FPS'e bak lan, performans modu yüklemiş FPS'e bak.
to preference. You can either use Sodium along with Iris, Continuity, and Indian for the
Yani
best
normal
performance
aslında ya bu
possible and
FPS'ler
overall
değil
most
mi?
compatibility with the rest of the
Siktir
mod
git.
list. Or you can use Optifine, which generally doesn't perform it quite as well as the other combination, but is pretty much an all-in-one mod and has quite a bit more features at this point. Now, to start things off, we're going to take a look at Fresh Animations, which requires Optifine in order to, you know, actually work. And this is easily one of my favorite things to have installed in Minecraft, because Fresh Animations adds amazing animations to most of the creatures in the game. And with each update, it just continues to get better as it expands the mobs that are covered. A list of satisfying mods would truly be incomplete without this mod.
Bu sende vardı Cibo valla.
And its only downfall is that
hatırlamıyorum
as
böyle
of
bir
now,
şey.
you can't use it with Sodium. As an alternative, however, if you'd like to go with Sodium, you can always use the Better Animations Collection mod. And while in my opinion, Fresh Animations is just a little bit better, this mod still provides plenty of really nice animations to many of the creatures in the game. Next, I'll be installing the Stay True Resource Pack, and it's one of my
Ağaçları
favorite resource packs
pack'miş bu.
available, as it
En
simply
sevdiğim resource pack.
enhances one of my favorite
renk
resource
değişti
packs
lan.
available, as it simply
Aa yere bak.
enhances the vanilla visuals. Rather than completely changing the textures, it adds variance to them and makes them far less repetitive, and you'll also notice that blocks can blend together. And really, at this point, you can go with whatever resource pack you like. Whatever you find the most satisfying, go with that one. But I decided to go with one that still just generally sticks to the vanilla appearance for this video. Now, next up, we're gonna hit another point where once again, you're gonna need to make a choice. Option 1 is Complementary Shaders Reimagined. The shader looks downright amazing and actually has some pretty great performance, but on the other hand, you can use the Distant Horizons mod, which allows you to run Minecraft at pretty absurd render distances. So really, it's up to you. Would you rather be able to see really
Baksana nereye kadar görüyorsun. Bu mod bende var.
really far away or have some absolutely fantastic lighting and visuals? Either way, very satisfying. And I would recommend picking one or the other, but I actually did find that if you use these two together while using Optifine, they somewhat work together. It's a little glitchy though, and the performance isn't great, which is to be expected. But if you'd like to give this a try, you can definitely do so. Alright, now for these next few mods, we're mainly going to be focusing on adding satisfying sounds to the game. And first, we'll be installing Dynamic Surroundings Remastered Fabric Edition. With this mod, you'll get beautiful biome sounds, some new visual effects, and amazing waterfall ambience. And as I've mentioned before, waterfalls in Minecraft, having actual waterfall sounds is immensely satisfying to me, so this is just a must-have. And if the official version of Dynamic Surroundings ever gets updated, you can always use that one, but for now, this is what we're sticking with. We'll also be installing Presence Footsteps, which over the past 10 years now has provided incredibly satisfying footstep audio. Not only do you get unique footstep sounds for most blocks, the mod also recognizes each foot on its own. So now
Chat, şimdi şeyi ayarlamaya çalışıyoruz. Size hadi spoilerını vereyim. 4 tane ya DC'de ekran açacaklar. 4 kişi olacağız. Böyle modlu ama modlu dediğim hani şey değil, böyle epik modlar değil. Güzel gözükme falan, anladın mı? Hani böyle hafif zorluklar falanla ekran açacaklar. Joey Zap yönetecek ekranları moderatör olarak. Aynı anda aynı seed'den başlayıp oyunu bitirmeye çalışacağız. Sürekli siz yayında işte maskara geçecek. Joey Zap arkada işte ne bileyim Ta'ya geçecek. Bana geçecek. Böyle yarışacağız. İlk kim bitirecek diye.
now you can walk between two different blocks and the sound effect will alternate for each foot.
Oha, her şeye farklı ses.
Very satisfying. Next, I've included the Auditory mod, which adds a bunch of new sound effects, most notably for breaking and placing many of the blocks you can find in the game. And this is something we've seen with many of the new blocks in Minecraft, for example, Amethyst, and trust me, it's a wonderful thing hearing this feature brought to more blocks. In addition to this, I've also installed Extra Sounds, which adds even more satisfying sounds to the game, mostly focused around the inventory. So when you scroll around, drop items, and move stuff around, you'll be fed all kinds of auditory goodness.
O elinde de ses.
Now, moving on from sound-specific mods, everything else I've included really just covers a bit of everything. For starters, we have Camera Overhaul, and this mod adds some
Ekip yayını yapsanız isteyen istediğini izlese. Yok, öyle bir şey yapmayacağız.
pretty satisfying camera movement to the game, all depending on what you're doing. And the default settings for this mod may be a bit nauseating for some people, but do not worry. You can customize the intensity of each of these visual effects. Go for it. Next, I've practically be doing like it to be subtle, you can absolutely do that. And if you want to practically be doing barrel rolls when you move around, go for it. Next, I've installed a pretty small mod called Disable Custom Worlds Advice that saves me from some pretty extraordinary anguish. These incessant pop-ups constantly letting me know that I in fact have mods installed. Gone forever. It's really a beautiful thing. And in addition to that, I've installed Toast Manager. And like Disable Custom Worlds Advice, this mod disables the constant achievement pop-ups you get with each new world. They're fun for the first
şey diyor değil mi? Yanlış anlamadım. Hileli açarsan başarım kazanamıyorsun ama bununla kazanabiliyorsun.
Times, but can quickly get irritating when you just don't want them anymore. After that, I've installed the Physics mod, and this mod is just loaded to the brim with satisfying features like mob ragdolls, block breaking physics, and much more. And for the video, I'll be using the Pro version, which includes many more awesome features. Now you'll see things like realistic smoke, better weather visuals, interactive snow, and much more. And hey, if there's any features you don't enjoy with this mod, you can always just change or disable them. Very satisfying. I've also installed the InvMove mod, which allows you to move around while accessing inventories, and this mod was surprisingly client-side. I honestly thought this would be server-side, although I don't make any promises that you won't get banned if you use this on a server or something.
Bunu kullanırsanız ban yersiniz falan dedi serverlardan. Ne alaka?
Like that. So if you do plan on using this mod online, I would definitely make sure you're allowed to use it on that server. I've also included the dynamic
sandığı açık bırakırsan
Hile bu.
ne kadar uzaklaşırsan uzaklaş alabiliyorsun galiba.
Hileye giriyor.
Ama bunu yapınca uzaklaşınca kapanıyor sandık.
A crosshair mod, which changes/hides your crosshair depending on what you're doing or holding. And this can be especially nice when you have no need for a crosshair, as it frees up some of
Ha, sandık açıkken hareket edebiliyormuşsun anladın
your
mı?
HUD, making your game more beautiful and by extension, satisfying. Now, in order to make third person more satisfying to use, I'll be installing especially nice when you have no need for a crosshair, as it frees up some of your HUD, making your game more beautiful and by extension, satisfying. Now, in order to make third person more satisfying to use, I'll be installing both better third person and camera utils. Better third person lets you walk
kamerayı
around in
istediğin
every
gibi
direction while
çevirebiliyorsun.
playing in third person, whereas camera utils
PUBG
allows you
gibi.
to customize exactly where the camera sits behind you. And one of the last client-side mods we'll be installing for now is Legendary Tooltips. And this mod simply lets you know when your valuables are in fact valuable. Now they'll have a beautiful golden border that shows that that item is special.
Diyor ki hangi itemin daha özel olduğunu üzerinde şeyle gösteriyormuş. Mal bizim gibi biz malız ya şey bilmiyoruz
And
ya.
finally, for the last of our client-side mods, I've installed Effective, which adds several very satisfying water-based effects to the game. Now you'll get some really nice visual effects when pretty much anything falls into water, and waterfalls appear much more powerful, I guess, as water splashes everywhere. And this mod also has built-in waterfall sound effects, although I think Dynamic Surroundings does it just a bit better, so I've just gone ahead and muted these. Alright, at this point, every single one of the mods we've installed is client-side, so if you want to use these mods on a server or with friends or something like that, you won't be able to install any of the mods that are upcoming unless those mods are also installed on the server, so keep that in mind. And like I said earlier, I'm not going to be installing that many server-side mods this time around. However, if I do another one of these videos, I'll be sure to include a lot more of both. So we're going to move on to a few server-side mods now. And the first of these mods is both Better Combat and Combat Roll. And these mods are both created by the same developer, and in combination, they make combat incredibly satisfying. And you can also combine these mods with weapon mods like Merriam's Soulsborne Weaponry or simply Swords to significantly expand the set of weapons available to you. Next, I've selected Diagonal Fences just because being able to place fences diagonally is both mentally and visually pleasing, and overall just makes fences a whole lot more versatile. And after that, I've installed Visual Workbench, which makes crafting pretty much infinitely more satisfying, as not only do items stay in the crafting table if you exit it, but they also stay on top and show exactly what you're crafting. And truly, this mod just makes the entire crafting experience that much better. And finally, the last mod I'll be showing today is Immersive Portals, and I still consider this to be easily one of the most satisfying mods that exists. I mean, when I first came across this mod's predecessor, Better Portals, I was completely mind blown and really didn't even expect a mod like this to actually exist. But it does, and it works pretty much perfectly. I will mention though, I was actually getting some crashes using this mod with this mod list, and I think the crashes were being caused due to incompatibility with the physics mod. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I have my suspicions. But hey, give it a try. You guys might have better luck with it than I did. And anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. And as I mentioned before, I would definitely love to do a part 2, and potentially beyond for this video, as there's
Çok iyiymiş.
Nedir muhabbetiymiş.
Çok